And we're back with another episode of Let's Play Wild Arms 2 Second Ignition. I'm your host, the RPG Guy. Alright, so we need to chase down the guy that stole our shit. And this is actually one of the more interesting episodes, not because of us chasing this dude down. It's actually a bigger deal with what you're about to witness as one of the coolest little sparks of the game. It's one of the only few places, it's one of the very few places in the game that I'll actually use a Gimel coin. And you'll see why. Just because of convenience and how important it is. You'll see what I mean when we get there, but it's good stuff. First things first though, bridge key. There's the shit out of that. There we go. And in we go. So now we're gonna meet the assholes who stole our shit. Hell? Oh god, my head. Just seeing these two idiots makes me angry. Alright, so apparently we have to deal with these morons. We're trying to lift the gate. Okay, so he's lowering the bridge. Ha! And what's going on? Energy is insufficient. 5 minutes until bridge opens after recharging. What an idiot. So in other words, we've got to power our way across this bridge. That chest that's behind him we can't get until much later in the game. So I wouldn't worry too much about the chest. As far as battles go, I think we're going to see, yeah, these little orbs, you can dodge them. You don't have to actually, if you don't touch them, you won't be thrown into a battle. The timer, I believe, still goes while the battle's going, so you don't want to get into the battles. I think they are. Don't quote me on that. Okay, in this room, what you're looking for, we need this. You have to hit the switch, and these little pile things are on the floor, these little slits. And if you step on them, you can see the two of them right there as I walked around them. If you touch those things, the door closes again. Another, time waster. The red balls are much more faster moving, or much faster, or move much more quickly, and usually have a tougher enemy in them, so you really want to avoid them. But none of the balls necessarily come after you, and really fighting them is pretty trivial. I don't recommend it. So for this one, we actually gotta... There we go. Yeah, it's not so hard, is it? Not so hard at all. Oh, Jesus, they're everywhere. Excuse me. So running is not always the best option. As you can see, I'm just moseying on over across the bridge, and nothing's really gotten in my way. And once you get across, that's pretty much it, which I think we just did. Yeah, we just got across. We had 3 minutes to kill. Trust me, those enemies aren't worth the effort, Oh god, just kill them now. Going to do if they don't flinch. Oh my god. Doesn't he just understand that I'm gonna go over there and kick his ass? And can't we just leave it at that? Or does he really need to make it this complicated? I'm sure you have. And powers spreading through the terror spell Odessa through the land are Liz and Ard. I'm not anyone suspicious. I'm just a creepy lizard asshole. You look, we are first rate. You Fogai guys are second rate. And that's pretty much what's going to go down. Alright, so we are now trapped in a battle with these two idiots. Don't use your lucky card. Save that. This time the tide is kind of turned, though. This time, Liz is not the more threatening of the two. This time it's going to be Ard. Ard's going to hit a lot harder this time around. But we're going to use Shot Weapon. I'm still not going to use the other one. For magic purposes, I just use Red Butte. I don't think Water Gun's going to work too well on Ard, but we can give it a try anyway. And we can go ahead and pop Bazooka on Ard after we get Brad's FP up a little higher. The thing is that Ard hits hard, where Tim's probably going to end up using his healing magic to counter Liz's bomb attack. It shouldn't be that big of an issue, but it is something we got to keep an eye out on. Where if Ard gangs up on Tim, that's where we could start running into some trouble. As you'll see, this is going to be painful. 800 damage, which is pretty beefy for this point for this portion of the game. So first aid. And look at that, down he goes. So we're gonna be okay. Once Liz is down, that's the thing, is like every time you fight this pair, they get an upgrade, but it's usually not all that sufficient. So this time around, as you can see, his is upgraded too, but it's a lot more tolerable. Go ahead and hit him with another bazooka round. That'll probably end the battle pretty quickly. But you notice I'm saving my good rounds on Ashley for a reason. And you'll see why when we get there. There's a reason I'm not letting him use the other weapon. His other weapon, rather. Oh, did he hit me with his purse? Hit him again. Booyah! They weren't so hard. They weren't so tough. And Ashley levels. It's about time somebody leveled. It's been a while. We fought in a few bosses, too. What? Yeah. Come on. So here's the real battle, if you are wondering. And again, we're pretty beefy, so I don't see this battle being much of a problem as we go up against a familiar face, but stronger. It's like the third time in this game we've fought in it, too. Bionic Dragonoid Trask 2.0. It's like we ran out of boss ideas. Let's just keep using Trask. Everybody loves them. It's like the calling card from the original franchise. And in some respects, there's a lot of truth to that. Alright, speaking of truth, now we're going to hit him with bolt action, but more specifically, we're going to go after the crystal. Crystal, and then attack the crystal. For Brad, though, we may not use the rocket launcher. What we'll probably do is use the AM cluster or the pineapple lock on and aim on both body parts. That way we can really start working on both, and then use the rest of his rocket rounds for the main body when we get it down. There's going to be other steps, too. Like, we need to use our lucky card this time around, but I really want to make sure we get Tim an attack in there. And so he'll need to heal. Actually, we'll just do it now and get it over with. The lucky card. First aid. Lock on with the AM cluster. Though it's really not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. I guess I could just try to... The goal is to take out the crystals on its back, because those are the most damaging things he's got. Ooh, nice. Bolt action, crystal, first aid, melee the crystal. And that's pretty much my goal right now, is just to bring that damage down onto the boss. Booyah! Oh, they keep going after Tim. Look out, Timmy! Oh, okay, so that part of the body's already dead. So, first aid, lock on bazooka. Let's finish this. Bring it, cock spelunker. Get some! See, again, bolt action, first aid. Could take a shot from the hip, but it isn't worth it. His bio missile, which he didn't even use this battle, has been deactivated, so he's not really a threat to us in that respect. That's probably his strongest attack, is bio missile, but we've already kind of worn him down. So, anyway, the battle's won. Now, why would I use my last lucky card here? He doesn't give great XP. He gives good XP, but not great. So why would I use it here? You're about to find out. And probably one of the most underrated secrets in Wild Arms. It's very underrated, to the point where it's kind of sad. And we'll get to that right after this, right after these messages from our sponsors, Liz and Ard. That the regeneration didn't work. Hulk Hogan. Is that like Hulk Hogan, but instead he's a dragon? Come back, Mastodon! Maddening and to be delayed by hoodlums. And that means you better scram if it makes you shake, because I'll make you shake right on roll, right into a fucking pit full of spikes, motherfucker. Ew. Ew, they're in their birthday suits. That can't be right. Ard's wearing armor, and Liz is wearing like a shawl of some sort. I sense tomfoolery in their speech. Alright, so anyway, we're back in control, and look at that. Ashley's about to level yet again. It's always a good sight to see. And actually, I remembered I don't need to use a Gimmel coin. I forget that there's a save point in here, which we're going to exploit the shit out of. Alright, so what you need to know coming up is the following. You need to find out which characters are ready to deal with what's coming up. Okay, and like I said, it is a very underrated secret. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm going to do. If you know what I'm going to do, then this is not important to you. But for those of you who don't, this is an important thing to notice. What you need to do is see who has the best luck out of your party. It looks like Ashley does. So we're going to take Ashley, and we're going to equip him with Fangalon. Okay, with that said, we'll go out into the open field. There's an enemy out here called Malcolm. They're not great enemies. There's nothing that special, really, that I know of about them battle-wise. They have this thing that's kind of messed up where they can hit you really hard with like, Gela, and it does, like, 300 or 400, 500 damage to everyone in your party. But they usually only use it once in a while. It's not a big deal. The big thing, though, is that you can steal lucky cards from them. Not kidding, you can actually steal lucky cards from these guys. It's a chance that you can steal it from them, but it's better than a swift kick to the nuts. And it's definitely something you want to do. To load up on lucky cards, and here, look at Speak of the Devil, this is who we're looking for. Speak of the Devil, indeed. You have a chance of stealing lucky cards. I think once in a blue moon you steal a hero. No, not once in a blue moon. Sometimes you steal heal berries from them too, but look at that. Got a lucky card. And this is the best place in the game to stock up on them. Period. Yeah, 500 damage. But that's why people are intimidated by this specific enemy, because he can hit you hard, but nothing that Tim can't counter with first aid. So you can sit here and farm these guys forever. Once you steal from them, I don't think they have another one. Yeah. So you just kill them off. You can let Tim do it, or you can do it yourself with another character. It doesn't matter who does it, as long as it gets done. They don't give much. They don't give much for Gela if you steal from them, or they use their Gela attack. If they use the Gela attack, you won't get the Gela. Which is why they only carry 500 Gela on them. Now, I think they can steal Gela from you and raise the amount of damage they do. If that happens, just don't worry about the lucky card. Take them out real quick if it's a substantial amount. But like I said, it's not a big deal. And literally, all you gotta do is come out here and spend, maybe an hour. And if you spend an hour out here, you'll probably end up with like 50 lucky cards. How many do you need? Well, my recommendation easily is about 20 to 25. You don't need to steal more than that. Now, that's a lot. That takes time to do. But I do recommend stealing about 20 to 25 Gela cards, or lucky cards, because you can always come back here later and get more. And you'll also find more along the way. So it is good, though, to stock up with as many as you possibly can early, because you kind of need them. And what's nice is from this point forward, you should use a Gela card in every boss fight, regardless if it's not for a lot of XP. I guess you could go back and go, if you know you're not going to get a lot, you could still preserve and hold on to them. But really, because you have the chance to get as many as your heart's desire, you should just get as many as you know you're going to need. And like I said, the higher the luck, the more likely you are to steal. So it's obvious we're getting a majority of misses here, but it's just a matter of time before we are able to get it. It takes no more than usually 5 or 6 attempts to steal that lucky card. So yeah, I mean, it's worth it. Every second you spend out here grabbing lucky cards makes this game instantly a whole lot easier, a whole lot more manageable, because every boss fight is going to be at least one level up for you now. You're gonna level alongside boss fights. And that doesn't include the regular battles you fight in the dungeons. It even, in a way, makes it so you don't have to fight as many random battles in dungeons if you don't want to. Because you can just pop a lucky card in a really big boss fight. Or even if you're fighting an enemy that drops a lot of XP, and you can kill him quick enough, you could drop a Gela card, a lucky card there too. Though I don't recommend that, because that's not always reliable. Just saying. But like I said, there we go. There's our second lucky card in like a minute and a half. And this is more this battle's taking a lot longer than it usually does. So defend, Gravitron, defend, and then we'll let Tim get the kill. So this will help Tim learn any other things he's got to work on. This is also a great place to do that. So if you get a new summon and you want Tim to learn all the skills of that summon, come here. Get lucky cards while he kills off everything else. You know, nothing here is going to do very much damage, if any damage at all, to us. So it's worth the effort to put in to get it done. Outside of that, I'm going to spend some time here doing this because my load of lucky cards is pretty much depleted, and we definitely need some lucky cards. So I'm at least going to try to get 25, and it shouldn't take very long to do that. So I'm going to do that now, and then when we come back, we'll continue our quest forward. Alright, so we've got about 25 cards. That should get us by for a good while, you know, and actually I think some characters even gained a level. But 25 cards is pretty substantial, so there's, you know, by the time I need more cards, or I feel like my card stack is running to about 5 cards left, I'll be back here. You know, and I'll spend another 30, it took about 30 minutes maybe to collect 25 cards. And so I'll spend 30 minutes, collect my other 25 cards, and then, you know, move on. There's, you know, like I said, it's up to you whether you want to spend the time to do it. I highly advise you do it. And when you get down to around 5 cards or so, you need to make by the time you run out of cards, start running out of cards, you'll have the means to get to that location. You should. And if not, then start being stingy about how you spend your cards. But for what it's worth, it shouldn't be too hard to be able to get back there by the time we need to. So, but you know, from this point on, it's just, you know, the sky's the limit as far as spending lucky cards and all that stuff. We're even going to be getting to the point where we don't need the teleport crystals anymore too. So it's like, it's nice that we're almost there. It's a slow but sure path. Alright, anyway, we've been here before. I think, if my memory serves me right, there are 2 new enemies here, but none of them have anything worth a damn, so don't bother with them. Now I've got the hiccups. You know, most of the battles here are a waste of time, but if there's any items that you felt that you have missed or walked by, you can go, god damn it, you can go back and get them. And it'll take you all of a few minutes to go by and pick up any items you felt you may have missed. Like I said, I don't worry too much about it, so. And we're running. Again, like I said, there's not much for me to really tell you to do. Like I said, if you missed any of the berries from the boxes, you can collect them now. So this is like, as opposed to the Millennium Puzzle, this is a dungeon that you can repeat multiple times. Same with Ashley's even as well. So as far as making sure you do get 100% on all the enemies, I know I didn't do 100%. In the Millennium Puzzle, so I'm not hyper concerned about it either. It's not a big deal. Okay, same way to get out of here as we did last time. Do. Alright. Almost out of here. Okay. So now that we're out of this dump. Is it a dump? It's a dump. It's a big, stinky dump. Now that we're out of that said dump, we can go ahead and head, obviously, to T-Block. If you didn't grab that apple from earlier, you may want to pick it up now. That's in the southern part of this open area. We'll head to T-Block. What's nice is there's no real items or anything for us to buy. So, don't worry about it. Yay. So there is one thing we can do though, is right over here. Doo-doo-doo. He's an armsmith. Can he upgrade our arms? Yeah, you can't even upgrade through that guy, so don't bother too much with that. We need to go over here. Just continue the story. Oh my. Now, some people have said that this is important that you respell the name. That's total garbage. Even if you misspell the name, you get all the bonuses of things to come. So you don't have to recollect the name at all. Remember me, right? Yep, you were a little girl back then. Yep, she's got a full rack and everything. Kind of weird though, because, you know, he's kind of old. You don't say. You were taken away. Risky told me. I think he was the Slayhem Liberation Army, like us, huh? What could this mean? What could this mean indeed? This is where things start to get a little weird. You can name him whatever you want. We'll go with Billy. Duh, we saw that whole adventure while walking through Green Hell. How could we not know what that was? Sorry about that, my phone went off. It was work. That's right. He's so happy. Small rebel groups staged scattered uprisings, but they were too organized. We united the opposition into the Slayhem Liberation Army. Vinsfield Radamanthus. That's the name of my former commanding officer. What a twist! Village say it was Vinsfield's charisma and the bravery of Brad Evans and his companions that enabled the liberation to defeat the military despite their small numbers. So Vinsfield set up Brad and his men by helping them, you know, be somewhat successful in their endeavor. And then in the final mission, he abandoned the entire Liberation Army, and they all pretty much got captured and killed or put in prison. That's just wonderful to know. Nope, not anymore. Desert in the northwest is where Slayham once was. Using the abandoned facilities there as a base of operations. So we know where he is. It's the best shot. Yeah, really. There has to be a way. There has to be a way. Alright, with that said and done, there's a crest here. There's actually 2 other items that we can get while we're here, that we need to get while we're here. Oops, I gotta stop running into shit. The next step is to talk again to Risu, or the damn dog as I like to call him. Well, that's not junk. That's not junk at all. Yep. Alright, so guess what? Teleportation crystals kind of become obsolete because we now have the teleportation orb. It pretty much never runs out of power and you can teleport to pretty much anywhere you kind of want. So, yeah. Just saying. It is something worth doing if you give a crap, but it is worth doing and you should put a lot of effort into doing it. So, anyway, we'll get into some of that in a little bit, but the first thing is first. There's a side quest that we can do, and things get kind of weird if you don't do it right. So, how to describe this side quest? Let's see. First, we need to teleport to Selji before we can do anything else. As we arrive here, we need to go inside. And we need to be Lilica. This is very important to do now. A lot of people put this off for much later in the game, and who's the weakest character in our group right now? Honestly, it's Lilica. She's the one not really pulling a lot of her weight. And we're looking for this guy. Oh, that's right. No, he's in the library. He's in the college library. He's not in this area. He's gonna tell us about this dude named Mr. Day. And this whole side quest involves a little bit of running around and knowing and kind of fooling around with the teleportation orb in order to unlock this quest properly. So what we need to do is, I'm gonna say it's in here. No, it's in the school library, which I sometimes forget where it is. This isn't it. This is a research room. It could even be in that front building, and I just didn't bother to check. I hate this little side quest too. It's not hard, and there's not much that you really have to do. Okay, here he is right here. Report he was sent off to some crazy... he's on an assignment. He was sent by magic to a place that cannot be reached by land or sea. Poor fellow. Okay, so we now know about this. So we know that this place can't be reached by land, sea, or air. So how does one get to it? Well, one gets to it like this. We know that Lilica's taboo is giving her a teleportation item. So why not give her, the teleportation orb? So this is what happens. Now that's what you have to talk to him to start this mini quest. This little quest. Okay, so pull out the teleportation orb, Basker. Doesn't matter where. And as you can see, something has gone askew. We are now on this island in the butt crack middle of nowhere, but luckily for us, we don't have to go very far. Just walk right inside this island outpost. Sorry, I had to freaking belch. Now, there's nothing here on the island that's of much interest until we go inside, which is obviously going to be where Mr. Day is. Speak of the devil. Through years of research, I just finished my summary of the lineage of high-level magic. Of course you are. I guess having come to this remote island, it finally paid off. Crest sorcery to surpass all of that has come before. There's a favor I need to ask of you. You'll hear me out, right? You'll hear me out, right? Right? To deliver a book on high-level magic to Carrion in the Silgi region. Okay, that makes sense. Alright. So that's what we pretty much got to do. We got to take this book back to Numbnuts. Sounds pretty easy enough, right? There's also something else we need to do. And because it is easily missed, where is it? It's in that barrel, I think. And I gotta walk. Damn it. I didn't mean to step out. It's not that there isn't an island, and I should have said it better. It's not that there's a chest. It's that you've gotta walk around this place in a very certain way. There it is. I want to say there's something in these barrels here too. I thought there was a crest in the barrels. I guess not. Anyway, so we get the weather vein. It's worth picking up. I thought it was in the barrels, not the chest. Shows you how much I remember. Go ahead and head back to the Silgi region, and we'll deliver the crest back to Carrion. Yeah. Well, I guess for future reference for me, it does matter which way you walk around the house. Thought you could have gone around the right. Oh, you know what? Maybe I had the screen turned around when I did it the first time. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, whoa! Let's go ahead and take this back to Carrion. Why does Carrion have such a complex name, but Mr. Day? You know? Just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so he's gonna go off and do that. We're not done yet. We need to go back to Mr. Day. And here's what we need to really do, is it doesn't require high-level crests or anything at all. I'm just saying, it doesn't require any of that, but what it does require is regular crests. So here's what we're going to take off. We're going to go ahead and erase all the elemental spells: Flame, Vortex, Aqua, Spark, Freeze. We're going to release Heal. Okay, because well, you know what? I lied. We'll put Heal back on. But we don't want to have... For the time being, we don't need Quick. We don't need Mage Weapon. And there's a reason that we're taking these two down. This will allow us to add other things later as they become more relevant. We can also probably take down... Reflect. Yeah, we'll take out Rise and Shine. Wait, I have 11... Oh, yeah, all the elements. So let's go ahead and recreate the low-level healing spell, which I do want to have. That'll give us 10. Where is it? It's in here somewhere, damn it. Here it is. Restores a small amount of HP. Alright. So we have 10 crests. There's what, 5, 6 elements maybe? I think there's 6 elements, plus we have a few extra crests. Now the rationale for doing this is pretty good. And you'll see what we're going to pick up. We're going to pick up 3 primary spells and then all the elemental spells. And whatever we have left over we can use for whatever. I might take Mage Weapon back or Rise and Shine. Anything to protect against status effects is always a good idea. So it just depends, but we'll figure that out in a moment. But the catch is, I think the casting level for the level 2 spells is like 50. I'll double check. But I think they're pretty high, if I'm not mistaken. So here we go. We can learn, yeah, FP 50. So it costs 50 FP to just cast one of these really high level spells. So we'll take Spark, we'll take Vortex, we'll take Aqua. Is there ice in there somewhere? Oh, High Freeze. We'll take High Freeze. Now we need to take High Heal, which is 55. And High Revive. We're also going to pick up Restore, which is there. Cures all status abnormalities. Yeah, you definitely kind of want that. You'd be kind of an idiot not to have that. Reduces ups physical attack power. That's Hyper Weapon. Or Hype Weapon. That's stronger than Mage Weapon. Mighty Body. Ups parameters and auto combat. We never will use this. Slow down. Reduces speed. That's not bad. Here's a pretty good one. Saber. We'll pick up Saber. Non-elemental magic spell. So when all else fails, you have second means. So in all honesty, we have Heal and Revive, the lower level ones. We have all the elementals. We have High Heal, High Revive, and we have Saber, which is a different spell type. What we'll also do is erase the revives out of here, and we'll go ahead and put in free high revives. Why not? You'd be insane not to. So where are they? That way we can do it for free without having to, you know, use FP. So we've gotten that all squared away. Yay! So, but we're not done yet. We need to return back to Carrion, and he'll tell us he spreads it to all the magic shops around the world. You have to talk to Carrion again, or you have to, because if you don't, you always have to return to the island outpost. That's not such a big deal. I don't know why people get their panties in a twist over that. I don't see the rationale for it. But people do get their panties in a bunch when they have to spend lots and lots of money. So my suggestion is to do this. That way, every time you go to a new town, you can go ahead and buy what you need, you know. You'll have the money, you'll have the gear, you'll be good to go. That's just my standpoint on that. So go ahead and finish talking to Mr. Day. Like I said, you don't have to do that. You can just keep going back to, or I'm sorry, Karurian. You can keep going back to Mr. Day to get your level 2 spells, but why would you want to do that? I don't know. So, anyway, he spread the magic all over the world. We're all said and done. Yay! Aren't we happy? Aren't you happy? I am. Maybe. So that concludes our dealings with that. So that's not too bad. Not too hard. Is it? Is it hard? Is it that hard to go and do the side quest? What this does too is it makes Lilka a little bit more pliable in battle. She's still miles away from Tim as far as usefulness for now. But once she hits like level 35, level 40, she starts becoming a challenger again. Tim's skills are gonna always be slightly questionable, you know. Tim's skills kind of plateau at a certain juncture, where until he gets certain new summons, I shouldn't have actually done that. I need to teleport to the hovercraft. Until Tim is further along in his skills, until he gets the right abilities, what happens is it's kind of like a weird rotation. For a while, Tim is really good, and then, you know, for a while, Lilka's really good. And then for a while, Tim's really good again. And usually by end game, they're both pretty good. So it just depends. I wouldn't think too much of it. But for what it's worth, what we've got's a really good way to go. Alright, so now we've got to get to the town of Courtly. There's this river here that's going to lead us pretty much right where we want to go. And then, as we go here, we're going to want to take the big turn, as I like to call it. And here we are. And to get to Courtly, well, that isn't very far away at all. Now, there's all kinds of items out here to find in the sandfield, but we're going to have an easier means to finding a lot of those items later. So I'd rather hold off on getting those items now, because it'll, like I said, there's an easier way to find them later, and it's like half the work. It's half the effort. Rather than roaming this whole open field in hopes that you'll run into it. Where is it? It's probably over here. One of these... yeah, it's gotta be here. There's this town around these parts somewhere. Did I just find one of the items? I did. And it's a lucky card. Let's see. And the town is actually like a bridge, so... I'm trying to find a bridge town, which I'm not having any luck finding at the moment. Desert monsters, usually the golden rule is to hit them with water magic. And water magic succeeds. Anyway, well, once we find this town, there will be some new items for us to pick up. They're a little pricey, so give priority to Brad and Lilka. And... I'm sorry, Tim and Lilka. And then give weapon priorities to the men. The other two men. The manlier men. I forget where this town is. It's driving me nuts. Oh, it's right there. I see it. There it is. You can see where the terrain color is different. Now we've reached Courtly. Yay! Well, I'm happy I'm here. Maybe you aren't, but I am. Anyway. Let me find that shop if I can, and instead I run into this. So we're gonna learn a little bit about this stuff here. I need a little help exercising monsters at Slayham Castle. Well, that's kind of forced. And then we get the name Cannon. Which is funny because it makes me think of Kano. When Kano had one eye. Okay, I'm not going to get into that, but that's what it makes me think of. And apparently looking at that guy scared his nuts right off. That's a good question. Who is Cannon? I don't know why they decided to do this. I don't remember any precedents for it. Uh-oh. What is this? Shenanigans! Well, it would seem that Brad's still old buddies with Vincefield, doesn't it? Well, that's good to know. Forget about it! My ghost, don't let them lead you astray. Well, luckily we have Turn Undead. Yeah, we actually got that earlier. Alright, now we're back in control. And we saw some things going on. I think all we have time left is for me to do our local shopping. And so let's get that done, and then we'll call it an episode, I think. The catch is finding the shop. I thought there was a... Isn't this the shop here? I don't remember where the shop is in these towns. Yeah, that was it. That was the shop. And I walked out. Alright. First things first, dump off the beret, because it's outdated. The white plume can go. And like I said, priority for Tim. Equip that. And for Lilka, because we might end up having to use them, and if they're not geared up, shit's going to get real. We've only got a little bit of money left, so this might be one of the times where I actually don't buy the weapons for Lilka and Tim, because right now we're, you know, the big guys need their gear, and we're a little short, and we're gonna get a lot of money soon. Oh wait, I am very short, aren't I? Okay, we're short on money for Brad. We should have enough after selling this stuff off. Actually, we should have enough maybe for even everything, give or take. Ferdinand. We'll pick up a Ferdinand. And pick up the rune staff for Tim. Well, we're just gonna have enough, I think. Yep. Just enough. That's fine. And then we'll sell off the leftovers. And boom shakalaka laka dibbity dop doop. Skit scat scootly dop doobity day. So there we go. Everybody's gear is upgraded. And they should be new. Should be pretty beastly. With the leftover money, I would probably max to 10. Anything you don't have 10 of right now. So, like, I'll pick up 4 more pixie dust. I'll pick up 2 more pinwheels. Pick up more softener. Stool softener. We'll definitely pick up more peppy acorns. That way we still have a lot of healing items available to us. We're good. Everything's looking dandy. And we're all healed and everything, so there's nothing to buy. We've recovered all of our munitions, I believe. So with that said, on the next episode of Let's Play Wild Arms 2, Second Ignition, we get to the bottom of some of the crazy stuff that's going on. We'll see you there.